some, let's make some happy little clouds in our world. Let's come right up here. And we'll just take this brush and we'll just bounce in some nice shapes. Now when we're doing this, we're interested in the white area, not the dark. So don't worry about the dark area. We're going to blend that all out. All we're doing is putting in some color for the shadows of our clouds. And this is one of the nicest, easiest ways of making very effective, great big old clouds. There. See, we're interested in this white area once again. Maybe there's another little cloud that lives in our world right along there. Wherever you think they should be, then that's exactly where they should be. Just wherever. And just use the old little 1-inch brush and just making tiny little circles. Just tiny little circles.
Well, I've just discovered he's using a 1-inch brush and I'm using a 2-inch brush.
Maybe I'll add a little color right in here too. Just so there'll be a little color at the base of this cloud. There. Now then, let's take our little brush. This is a 2-inch brush. And go right up in here and very gently, I'm using just the corner of the brush. We'll make little round circle patterns here. Just sort of wind it up, blend it together. Allow it to blend with the white that's already on the canvas. And that's the joy of this wet on wet painting technique. The fact that it's wet allows you to blend color right on the canvas.
Right on the
canvas.
Go away here.
There you go. Now it's beginning to make a little sense. See how those dark areas end up being nice shadows, and the white areas will end up being our clouds. This is a great way to make clouds for seascape paintings. It's great big fluffy clouds. Looks very nice. There we are. Now then, while we have this old brush dirty, tell you what let's do. Let's go back into a little bit more of that phthalo blue. Phthalo blue is a very nice color. It's very warm blue. I like that. Just a little color in the brush. Okay, let's go back up here. Let's have some water in this painting. If you've painted with me before, you know I'm a fanatic for water. I love water. And it's one of the nicest, easiest things to paint in this technique. And today maybe this one will be still water, so we want these lines to be basically straight across here. Because as you know, still water is always flat, always level. There.
Why is my phthalo blue so much darker than his?
Just very lightly, all the way across, and sort of bring it together. And that light area here, it'll remain in there. There. Okay. Now, the most fun part of this whole technique is washing the brush. So let's do that. We wash our brushes with odorless thinner. Shake off the excess. And just beat the devil out of it. This is where you take out all your frustrations and hostilities and just have a good time. Let's go into a little titanium white.
Fan brush.
We'll use the old fan brush. We'll make some little clouds. I'll be right back. Let me grab a least little touch of the bright red. Just enough, a little bit more. There we go. Just enough to put a little pinkish glow into our little clouds. Don't want much. Don't want much. Okay, let's go up here. Now we got to make big decisions.
What color is that?
We'll just use this brush and decide where our little clouds live. And we just come along here and sort of drop them in. This also works very well with a little 1-inch brush. Very well. Either way that you want to do it.
It's not going right.
Either way. If you haven't painted with us before, one of the things that we try to do
way
here,
too red, man.
we try not to teach you just to copy. All we're trying to do is teach you a technique and turn you loose on the world.
Oh dear, that's not going well.
We use no patterns.
No, that's not going well.
No tracings.
Shit.
All we do is just sort of have an idea in our mind and we just sort of let it happen. And if you'll practice this a little bit, very soon you can enjoy the freedom of creating a painting right on the canvas.
Let it bloody happen, he says. Mix red with it. Look, look, look.
It's when you can just literally create a painting right on the canvas as you're working on it.
Really?
You
Really?
look at what you're doing
Hang on a
and
minute.
you'll see things. They'll just sort of happen.
Bob. Seriously. Bob. Come on now, look. You just told me to put red in my white. And it didn't happen. I'm not happy, Bob. That looks a bit better. But then it just spreads the blue around. Why is that a thing? How does that even... Wait, where was that? Let me blend some more of this shit out. I think it's just a case that this paint was just too thick here. So I am just going to wing it. No way here. Right. Your high dollar paint isn't as thick as his paint. See that? See that? That's thicker than his paint. So there you go. Right, so what he did there was... But it's just making pink clouds, so this is not the idea. Why did he put red in that white and then it just looks like white paint on the... How is that a thing? And then all it does is catch the blue. What the heck? Let's take that off. In fact, my high dollar paint is so thick, I'm having to add linseed oil to it to make it a little bit more workable. Otherwise, it's clogging up all the bristles in the fan brush. So, in fact, he did mention using a 1-inch brush, didn't he? Let's try that. It's like the cooking shows that tell you the wrong ingredients so your dish isn't as... yeah, you know. All it does is just spread the blue around. How is that even... What the fuck? Bob? Really, Bob? I mean, come on, man. I'm starting to lose faith in you, Bob. This isn't how it's supposed to be, Bob. I'm feeling cheated, Bob. The devil is still in the brushes, yes. Yeah. Let's just do this. This seems to make more sense to me. So what I'm doing instead is I'm basically just smashing the brush into the paint that way and then smashing it into the canvas this way, because that kind of seems to make a bit more bloody sense. And I'm not putting any bloody red in it. Not impressed, Bob. I feel cheated, Bob. I really do. That looks nothing like a bloody cloud. What the hell? See, what I don't get is, how does he get that looking all so nice and fluffy and textured and stuff like that when there's no other colours in there? How does that even work? Wait, hang on a minute. I just had an epiphany moment. Let's make that extra blue work for us a little. Jesus, I could end up never painting in oils again after tonight. I'll just go back to airbrushing. I know where I am with that. I would have had these bloody clouds done if I was using an airbrush by now. He had to specially build his easel so he could have fixed cameras to it. So yeah, I can see that. Right. Did he do some down here as well? I've got to cover this bit in, and what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my own take on this, because that's what it's all about, right? Okay, do you know that actually looks half decent on the camera than it does. Is my paint thinner odorless? That might be a problem. You might be high. It isn't odorless, but I've actually got a lid on it, so no. Right. Okay. So that's that bit. And then what did he do? Did he do fluffing and stuff? Wait a minute. Oh wait, isn't fluffing something that porn actors do?
Do it. Either way. If you haven't painted with us before, one of the things that we try to do here, we try not to teach you just to copy. All we're trying to do
Well,
is
you're
teach you
definitely not getting a
technique
copy
and
here,
turn
Bob.
you loose on the world. We use no patterns, no tracings. All
That's
we do
not
is
the
just
way
sort
I
of
was
have
able
an
to do
idea
it,
in
Bob.
our mind, and we just sort of let it happen. And if you'll practice this a little bit, very soon you can enjoy the freedom of creating a painting right on the canvas. Right on the canvas. And to me, that's where it really becomes fun. It's when you can just literally create a painting right on the canvas as you're working on it. You look at what you're doing and you'll see things. They'll just sort of happen. And you learn
Personally,
to
I
take
think
advantage
Bob
of
had been
whatever
breathing in a bit
happens
too
and use
much
it
bloody thinners.
to make your painting special. And you can do that. Okay, let's go back. Get our old 2-inch brush. And I just want to now blend all that together. Just blend it together. I'm being careful not to touch these top edges yet. I'm just blending the blue and the white
2-inch
down here
brush.
together. Very gently. Still using
This
little
bit's gonna go
circular
horribly wrong.
strokes. There we go. Just sort of let that mix together. I'm getting very close to the top, but I'm trying not to touch it at this point. Very close, but not touching. There. A little bit up in here. So just sort of blend it together. Mix it up. Just like you,
This looks
like you make
fucking
a cake
awful.
or something. Just mix it up.
Oh,
In here. Right there. Okay.
I'll definitely be scraping this one off at the end.
But this is a beautiful way. I just beat the brush like that to knock off excess paint. It's a beautiful way to create very effective, big, fluffy clouds. Now we're just sort of lifting it up. This will blend it all together, smooth it out. There. See? And then very lightly, 2 hairs and some air, just gently, gently, gently blend the entire sky. And with that, shoot, we have a pretty nice looking little sky. And there wasn't anything to it. Now then, let's get crazy. We'll use some midnight
Let's get
black,
crazy, he says.
little Prussian blue.
Yeah,
Now,
okay,
Prussian
okay.
blue is much darker than phthalo blue. It's strong. Ooh, very strong color. We'll put some Van Dyke brown, little alizarin crimson in there too. But we're
I'm
looking
coming
for a
back to
very
you, Bob.
dark color. It should look black. Pull it out as flat as you can get it. Go straight down with a knife. And we'll just cut off a little roll of paint. There it is. It's right on the edge of the knife. Let's go up here. Now I want to make some tiny little mountains up in here that are far away. I don't want these to be very big because we want to create the illusion of distance here. Using a very firm pressure, just literally push this right into the fabric.
So much excess paint on that.
And I don't want a lot of mountains today. That's about all we need. With a 2-inch brush, I'm going to grab this and pull it. Just pull it. It does 2 things. Removes excess paint.
This is not a Bob
And it
approved
blends all
painting
this
technique.
together.
I bet Bob would approve.
You know, we're
I know he
painting
would.
mountains, as you know. You always want the top of the mountain to be more distinct than the bottom of the
To be
mountain.
honest, it does
And at the
actually.
bottom, we have mist.
Hey, we're getting
now we
there,
have
man. We're getting
wonderful
there.
pollution. And we have all
Oh,
these
shit.
things that
Have we
break
got
up
palette
and
knives
diffuse the
involved
light.
next?
And it creates
Oh,
this
boy.
softness at the base of the mountain. Let's go into a little titanium white. What the heck? Very small amount. Get a very, very small amount of paint.
Well, I've seen better clouds.
Now
But there
then.
you go.
Barely touch it. No pressure. No pressure. And I don't want this to be very distinct. I want this to be very quiet, subdued, far away, gentle.
Those look like some happy clouds.
Think about those types
Yeah, they're
of words
ecstatic.
and stuff when you're painting, and it'll help you.
Right.
It'll help your
Oh
hand
God. Okay, here we go.
more gentle.
So I need to go backwards again because
Very
I missed
soft.
all of that.
Mix it up.
Look at, how did he make that look so good? Mine just
Right there.
what happened there? Seriously,
Okay.
I do need to actually blend that out a bit, don't I?
But this is a beautiful way. I just beat the brush like that to knock off excess paint. It's a beautiful way to create very effective, big, fluffy clouds. Now we're just sort of lifting it up. This will blend it all together, smooth it out. There. 2 hairs and some air. Just gently, gently, gently blend the entire sky. And with that, shoot,
I certainly
we have a
did.
pretty nice
There's
looking little
liquid
sky.
white.
And there wasn't anything to it. Now, let's get crazy.
Right.
We'll use some midnight black, a little Prussian blue. Now, Prussian blue is much darker than phthalo blue. It's strong. Ooh, very strong color. We'll put some Van Dyke brown, a little alizarin crimson in there too. But we're looking for a very dark color. It should look black. Pull it out as flat as you can get it. Go straight down with the knife. And we'll just cut off a little roll of paint. There it is. It's right out of the edge of the knife. Let's go up here. Now I want to make some tiny little mountains up in here that are far away. I don't want these to be very big because we want to create the illusion of distance here. Using a very firm pressure, just literally push this right into the fabric. And I don't want a lot of mountains today. That's about all we need. With a 2-inch brush, I'm going to grab this and pull it. Just pull it.
Right, what did he do?
It does 2 things. Removes excess paint, and it blends all this together. Let's get crazy. We'll use some midnight black, a little Prussian blue. Now, Prussian blue is much darker than phthalo blue. It's strong. Ooh, very strong color. We'll put some Van Dyke brown, a little alizarin crimson in there too. But we're looking for a very dark
that's not too
color.
thin,
It should
man.
look black. Pull it out as flat as you can get it. Go straight down with the knife, and we'll just cut off a little roll of paint. There it is. It's right out of the edge of the knife. Let's go up here. Now I want to make some tiny little mountains up in here that are far away. I don't want these to be very big because we want to create the illusion of distance here. Using a very firm pressure, just literally push this right into the fabric. And I don't want a lot of mountains today. That's about all we need. With a 2-inch brush, I'm going to grab
Right,
this
that's not going
and
well.
pull it.
Oh dear, Rick.
Just pull it. It does
Tiny
2
little roll of
things.
paint, this
Removes
is.
excess
None
paint,
of it comes off the...
and it blends all this together. There we go. And when we're painting mountains, as you know, you always want the top of the mountain to be more distinct than the bottom of the mountain. Because at the bottom, we have mist, and now we have wonderful
Your mountains
pollution,
look shit hot, mate.
and we have all these things that break up and diffuse the light, and it creates this softness at the base of the mountain.
You're saying my paint
Let's go into a little
isn't
titanium.
thick enough?
paint. What the heck? Very small amount.
Look, it's
Yeah.
that thick,
Very,
it won't
very
even
small
come off the
paint.
bloody
Now that,
palette
barely
knife.
touch it. No pressure. No pressure. And I don't want this to be very distinct. I want this to be very quiet, subdued, far away.
This little roll of paint, I'll tell you what, do you know what? I'm just going to wing it and I'm going to
Think
do it my
about
own
those
bloody way.
types of words and stuff, and it'll help you. It'll help your hand be much more gentle, but very
Don't come
soft.
off.
Don't want a lot of detail in this. And we'll take a little bit of blue and white,
When I die, Bob,
and just the indication of some shadow.
me and you
Don't
gonna have
want a
some
lot of
words,
shadow
mate.
back here. Too much detail. We're wearing that illusion of distance. Just enough to give the feeling that there's a nice mountain living back in there. With a clean dry brush, following the
see, it
angles.
just doesn't
always
come
follow the
off.
angles. We're going to very gently tap it and then lift it upward. And that'll help also with that illusion of mist at the base of the mountain.
Well, I've completely lost my place now.
Let's get crazy.
Let's go back again.
Find another 1-inch brush. Or you can use your fan brush, whatever. Strong color. We'll put some Van Dyke brown, a little alizarin crimson in there too. But we're looking for a very dark color. It should look black. Pull it out as flat as you can get it. Go straight down with the knife.
Right,
and we'll
see
just
what it
cut off
does
a
there?
little
Look,
roll
it
of paint.
gets that
There
little
it is.
roll up,
It's right
right?
out of the edge of the knife. Let's go up here.
I
Now,
need
want
to thin
I
my
want to make
paint.
some tiny little mountains up in here that are far away. I don't want these to be very big because we want to create the illusion of distance here. Using a very firm pressure, just literally push this right into the fabric. And I don't want a lot of mountains today. That's about all we need. With a 2-inch brush, I'm going to grab this and pull it.
It just don't
Yes.
come off the damn
It does two things. It removes excess
Let's
paint,
spread that around a little bit there.
and it blends all this together. There we go. And when we're painting mountains, as you know, you always want the
Let's
top of
just
the
lift
mountain
the
to be more
big
distinct
old
than the bottom of the
gnarly
mountain.
bit up
Because at
there.
the bottom,
That's-
we have mist, and now we have wonderful pollution, and we have all these things that break up and diffuse the light,
Well,
and it
Ross
creates
painted
this
properly,
softness
the
at the
big
base of the
Right,
mountain.
well, I can tell you for a
Let's go
fact
into a little
right now,
titanium
looking at
white.
what he's
What the heck?
doing there, it's not.
Very small amount. Get a very, very small amount of paint on the knife. Now that,
His paint there
Touch
that
it.
he's pulling out, that when he does that little roll,
and I don't
is
want this to be very
thinner
distinct.
than what
this to be very
is
quiet,
actually coming together when I mix
subdued.
it there.
Far away, gentle,
So it is thinned with something.
about
There,
those
that is without a
types
doubt.
of words and stuff when you're painting, and it'll help your hand go much
Right, I've lost my
more
place
gentle,
again now.
but very fabric. And I don't want a lot of mountains today. That's about all we need.
What else has he
The
done?
2-inch brush.
I'm missing something.
Grab
I've done.
this and pull it. Like brown, little alizarin crimson in there too. But we're looking for a very dark color. It should look black. Pull it out as flat as you can get it. Go straight down with the knife, and we'll just cut off a little roll of paint. There it is.
Yep, we
right
get
out
that
of the edge
bit.
of the knife. Let's go up here. Now I want to make some tiny little mountains up in here that are far away. I don't want these to be very big because we want to create.
Silly
the
thing is
illusion
I've got a rubber
of
glove on my
distance
left
here.
hand because I'm left-handed, but I'm doing most of it with my right hand.
Using a very
Work
firm
that one
pressure.
out.
Just literally push this right into the fabric.
Okay,
I don't
well I've
want-
already
I
fucked
don't want
that
a lot
up.
of mountains today. That's about all we need.
Oh, I know a way to fix
The
it.
2-inch
Hold
brush. I'll grab this.
up. Where's it gone?
Just
where's it?
pull it. It does two things. Removes excess paint, and it blends all this together. There we go. And when we're painting mountains, as you know, you always want the top of the mountain to be more distinct than the bottom of the mountain, because at the bottom we have mist, and now we have wonderful pollution, and we have all these things that break up and diffuse the light, and it creates this softness at the base of the mountain. Let's go into a little titanium white. What the heck? Very small amount. Get a very, very small amount of paint on the knife. Now that, barely touch it. No pressure. No pressure. And I don't want this to be very distinct. I want this to be very quiet.
This isn't going to work at all.
Subdued, far away, gentle,
It's already too dark.
soft. Think about those types of words and stuff when you're painting. It'll help your hand go much more gentle, but very soft.
What do you do there
Don't want a lot of detail in
anyway?
this.
That again.
Of distance here.
Keep being distracted.
Using a very firm pressure, just literally push this right into the fabric. And I don't want a lot of mountains today. That's about all we need. With a 2-inch brush, I'm going to grab this and pull it. Just pull it.
Oh, I'm only using a one. Oh,
Does
that's
two
already
things.
well and
Removes
truly
excess paint.
fucked, man.
And
Holy
it blends all this
shit.
together. There we go. And when we're painting mountains, as you know,
So
you
even
always
though I
want the top
used
of the mountain to be
exactly
more
the
distinct than
same
the bottom of the mountain,
paint that
because at
he's
the bottom,
asked on there,
we have mist, and now we have wonderful
it came out
pollution,
like that.
and we have all these things that break
Sorry,
up and
Bob,
diffuse the light,
I'm not
and it
buying your
creates this
bullshit, man.
softness at the base of the mountain. Let's go into a little titanium white. What the heck? Very small amount. Get a very, very small amount of paint on the knife. Now that,
I'm
barely
almost
touch it.
on the
No
verge
pressure.
of giving
No
this up.
pressure. And I don't want this to be very distinct. I want this to be very quiet, subdued,
Because that's just a
far
horrible
away,
black blob right now.
gentle, soft. Think about those types of words and stuff when you're painting, and it'll help your hand go much
Right. Titanium white,
gentle.
which I've now run out of because I had to use it.
very soft. Don't want a lot of detail in this. And we'll take a little bit of blue and white, and just the indication of some shadow. Don't even want a lot of shadow back here. Too much detail, we're wearing that illusion of distance. Just enough to give the feeling that there's a nice mountain living back in there. With a clean dry brush, following the angles, always follow those angles. You're going to very gently tap it and then lift it upward. And that'll help also create that illusion of mist at the base of the mountain. Shoot, let's get crazy.
Yeah, let's get
Another
crazy,
1-inch
Bob.
brush.
Yeah.
Or you could use your fan brush, whatever. Take a little bit more of the titanium white. Maybe in our world, maybe this old cloud.
Yeah, in your
we have
world,
all these
everything's
things
really
that break up and
fucking easy.
diffuse the light, and it creates this softness at the base of the mountain. Let's go into a little titanium white. What the heck? Very small amount. Get a very, very small amount of paint on the knife. Now then, barely touch it. No pressure. No pressure. And I don't want this to be very distinct.
I mean,
Just very
realistically,
quiet.
he does have actually better
Subdued.
palette knives than I do as well.
Far away, gentle, soft. Think about those types of words and stuff when you're painting, and it'll help your hand go much more gentle, but very soft. Don't want a lot of detail in this.
Oh, this is fucked,
And
man.
we'll take a little bit of blue and white, and just the indication of
It's
some shadow. Don't even
fuckered.
want a lot of shadow back here. Too much detail will ruin that illusion of
That don't
distance.
look like a mountain at all. That's fucked, man.
Just enough.
Right.
Just enough to give the feel.
Let's get some of this. The problem with it being so dark is it's not easy to actually remove it. I'm actually doing a better job with this with the oh dear. Right. How to paint with a kitchen towel. Starters edition. Right, let's get rid of all that. There's too much excess paint there. That's ridiculous. Oh, nice. Right, so I need to work out, actually, I think this is going to be a better palette knife to use for that. See, it don't. Personally, I think I need to thin this paint. I'm absolutely adamant about that. Because I think this is too thick. I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of lost heart in this already, because I like things to be right, and when they don't go right, I get the ump. It's supposed to be an enjoyable experience, and this isn't enjoyable. It looks a lot better on this camera right now than it does me actually standing here in front of it, that's for bloody sure. Just need to check something quickly. Yep, just as I thought. That looks fucking awful. I'm not gonna lie.
Feeling that there's a nice mountain living back in the... We have wonderful pollution, and we have all these things that break up and diffuse the light, and it creates this softness at the base of the mountain. Let's go into a little titanium white. What the heck? Very small amount. Get a very, very small amount of paint on the knife. Now then, barely touch it. No pressure. No pressure. And I don't want this to be very distinct. I want this to be very quiet.
This just makes that look so
Subdued.
easy, man. No, mine don't look nothing like that.
Soft. Think about those types of words and stuff.
Oh,
when you-
Jesus,
it'll
Bob,
help
you got a
it'll
lot
help
to
your hand
answer
feel
for, my friend.
much more gentle,
Anyone can paint.
but very soft. Don't want a lot of detail in this.
Let me do this. Let me try this for a minute.
And we'll take a little bit of blue and white. And just the
Try and
indication of
brush
some
some of
shadow.
this
Don't even
out,
want a lot
man.
of
It won't
shadow
go
back here.
away.
Too much detail will ruin that illusion of distance. Just enough to give the feeling that there's a nice
Oh.
mountain living back in there. With a clean dry brush, following the angles, always follow those angles. Run it very gently, tap it and then lift it upward. And that'll help also create that illusion of mist at the base of the mountain. Shoot, let's get crazy. Find another 1-inch brush.
You're
Or you
starting
can
to
use
wind
a
me
brush,
up when you
whatever.
say that, Bob.
Take a little bit more of the titanium white. Maybe in our
Let's
world,
get crazy.
maybe this old cloud right here, it just sort of dripped right down in front of the mountain. So just a little white, little circles, tiny little circles. Shoot, maybe this one right here. I don't know. Just sort of look at your painting and make a decision. Maybe it just sort of wraps this old mountain up. We'll take 2-inch brush and just blend it together. This is a super way of making mountains look like they're just laying out here in it. I lived in Alaska for many, many years. And these are the most beautiful scenery there. God was having a good day when he made Alaska. Beautiful. Beautiful. There, see that old
White,
mountain just
was he
lays
using
up there in the
more white
mist
there
and
again?
floats on. Has
That
a
looks
good
fucking
all day.
awful, man.
Now then,
Jesus.
maybe we'll have some little foothills back. I like to do little foothills. With some of that same mountain color. Just enough to give.
Oh, you getting blue involved in there now as well? Really?
Back in there.
Really, Bob?
With a clean dry brush, following the angles, always follow those angles. Run it very gently, very gently. Tap it and then lift it upward. And that'll help also create that illusion of mist at the base of the mountain. Shoot, let's get crazy. Find another 1-inch brush. Or you
We'll
can
call
use your
this
fan brush,
an
whatever.
abstract
Take a little bit more of the
impressionist
titanium.
version, yeah?
Maybe in our world, maybe this old cloud right here, it just sort of dripped right down in front of the mountain.
Is this stream going to be
So
over
just a little
soon?
white.
Oh yeah, another 15
little
minutes,
circles,
good.
Tiny circles. Shoot, maybe this one right here. I don't know. I don't know. Just sort of look at your painting and make a decision. Maybe it just sort of wraps this old mountain up. We'll take 2-inch brush and just blend it together. This is a
so done
super
with
way of
this.
making mountains that look like they're just laying out here in the mist. I lived in Alaska for many, many years. And you see some of the most beautiful scenery there. God was having a good day when he made Alaska. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, God was having a better bloody day than
There, see that old mountain just lays up there in the mist now and floats around.
Right,
Has a
what
good time all day. Now then, it just sort of wraps this old mountain up.
Did I miss
take-
that?
2-inch brush, gently, very gently. Tap it, but very soft. Don't want a lot of detail in this. And we'll take a little bit of blue and white, and just the indication of some shadow. Don't even want a lot of shadow back here. Too much detail will ruin that illusion of distance. It's enough to give the feeling that there's a nice mountain living back in there. With a clean dry brush, following the angles, always follow those angles. Going very gently, tap it and then lift it upward. And that'll help also create that illusion of mist at the base of the mountain.
There is no illusion of
let's
mist
get
at the bottom of
crazy.
this mountain, Bob.
Find another 1-inch brush. Or you can use your fan brush,
It's
whatever.
just a
Take a
horrible,
little bit
horrible
more
mess.
titanium. Maybe in our world, maybe this old cloud right here, it just sort of dripped right down in front of the mountain. So just a little white, little circles, tiny little circles. Shoot, maybe this one right here. I don't know. I don't know. Just sort of look at your painting and make a
Worst bit
decision.
is I'm going to run
Maybe it
out of
just sort
time.
of wraps this old
'Cause
mountain
I
up.
only usually stream for 2 hours.
We'll take
And
2-inch
I
brush.
ain't doing this shit till 3
And
o'clock
just
in the
blend it
morning, that's for
together.
bloody sure.
This is a super way of making mountains that look like they're just laying out here in the mist. I lived in Alaska for many, many years. And you see some of the most beautiful scenery there. God was having a good day when he made Alaska. Beautiful. Beautiful. There, see that old mountain just lays up there in the mist now and floats around. Has a good time all day. Maybe we'll have some little foothills back. I like to do little foothills.
Let's see if we can
Maybe
rescue
we'll take
this
some of
bit.
that same mountain color. Add at least a little touch
Unlikely.
of sap green to it. A little sap green, there we are. But it's predominantly blue. The one that's farthest away here, we'll make predominantly blue. Give him the white knife, well. And we'll use a 1-inch brush, what the heck. You could use your fan brush or 2-inch brush, it doesn't matter. Load a little color in there. And let's go right up in here. Now we have to make a big decision. Where does our little foothills live? Maybe we'll have one coming right over here. We'll start this one out back here, just using the corner of the brush and pulling straight down, gently. Maybe the little foothill comes right over like that.
So I'm just going to do my own thing here for a minute, just so I can try
Once
and
again, this is a very
cover this
individual thing.
awful
painting.
bloody nightmare up.
So just sort of look at it and make up your mind how you want your painting to be. Now then, when you're doing foothills, especially layers of foothills, you want a little misty area in between. That's your separator. So take the brush, 2-inch brush, and just tap the base of it. Or you can tap quite firmly. You can probably hear how hard I'm hitting the canvas. And then very lightly, just lift it up a little bit. There. Okay. Now then, maybe we'll have several layers in here. When you're doing landscapes,
That's not the point.
each
That's
layer,
not that would
each
defeat
plane,
the whole
as it comes
object.
closer to you, should get darker in value.
I am
So we'll
kind
use
of
that same
proving a
colour,
point here,
and I'll
because
just add a little bit of that mountain
as
colour
I
so
say,
it's right
you
here. I'll
may
just add
not
a
be
little
aware of
red to
this.
it.
I am
That'll make
actually
it a
a
little
professional
darker.
artist.
Maybe a
This
touch
is what
more
I
of
do
the
for a
green.
living.
There
But
we
I
go.
mostly,
Okay.
you can see the pictures down
maybe
in the corner there
over here,
scrolling. That's
we'll
all
hold
my
the brush
previous work.
up like this.
I'm
And that'll
kind
make
of proving a point that even
tops
though
that are a
Bob
little
says
taller and a little more
anyone
distinct,
can
'cause they're
do
getting
this,
a
and
little
I say
closer
that
to you.
anyone can, it's not something that's going to happen
But you can create
instantly.
this layer after
And
layer after layer like this.
A lot of people get this
And it
preconception that
enhances your
they're going to
painting
go out,
tremendously
buy a
because it
bunch of oil
creates that
paints
illusion of
and all these bits and pieces, and by the end of an
Our
episode,
2-inch brush.
they're going to be
Once again.
as good as Bob Ross. And
Once again.
as we can quite plainly see here,
Create that mist. See how that mist in
ain't gonna
between
happen.
separates? It's your best friend. Take care of it. Take care of it. There we go. Now lift upward. And maybe, I tell you what, let's have one more. Let's have one more. I'm adding a little bit more of that dark color right into that same original pile. One more. And then maybe it lives right here. But it's darker in value. It's a little darker. There we go. And we'll let him come maybe right down in here. I don't know. There. But each layer needs to get darker in value to keep that feeling of distance in the painting. And I know I repeat that over and over, but it's so important. So important. You don't want just a flat old painting. Shoot. We want a masterpiece here. And you can do it. Once again, we're going to tap that base
Oh,
Just
fucking
like
hell,
so.
really?
very lightly, lift it upward.
Wow. Okay.
There. Laying out here in the mist. I lived in Alaska for many, many years. And you see some of the
I'm
most
guessing I'm
beautiful
just going
scenery
to
there.
paint over that bit.
God was having a good day when he made Alaska. Beautiful. Beautiful. There, see that old mountain just lays up there in the mist now and floats around. Has a good time all day. Now then, maybe we'll have some little foothills back. I like to do little foothills. And we'll take some of that same mountain color, add a least little touch of sap green to it. A little sap green, there we are. But it's predominantly blue. The one that's farthest away here, we'll make predominantly blue. Okay, let me wipe my knife off. And we'll use a 1-inch brush, what the heck. You could use your fan brush or 2-inch brush, it doesn't matter. Load a little color in there. And let's go right up in here. Now we have to make a big decision. Where does our little foothills live? Maybe we'll have one coming right over here. We'll start this one out right here.
1-inch brush.
Just using the corner of the brush and pulling straight down, gently. Maybe the little foothill comes right over foothills. You want a little misty area in between. That's your separator. So take the brush, 2-inch brush, and just tap the base up. And you can tap quite firmly. You can probably hear how hard I'm hitting the canvas here. And then very lightly, just lift it upward a little bit.
Can't see what
There.
you're doing, Bob. Thank you.
Okay. Now then maybe we'll have several layers in here. When you're doing landscapes, each layer, each plane, as it comes closer to you, should get darker in value. So we'll use that same color.
Welcome back, DJ.
I'll just add a little bit of that mountain color. See, it's right here. I'll just add a little lead into it. That'll make it a little darker. Maybe a touch more of the green. There we go. Okay.
Can't see what you're doing, Bob. Right,
Now,
okay.
maybe over here, we'll hold the brush up like this. And that'll make tops that are a little taller and a little more distinct, because they're getting a little closer to you. There. But you can create just layer after layer after layer like this. And it enhances your painting tremendously because it creates that illusion of depth. Back to our 2-inch brush. And once again,
An artist doing a Bob Ross paint
Once
doesn't really
again,
do it
we want
justice. Why are you here then?
create that mist. See how that mist in between separates? It's your best friend. Take care of it. Take care of it. There we go. Now lift upward. Maybe, I tell you what, let's have one more. Let's have one more. I'm adding a little bit more of that dark color right into that same original pile. One more. And then maybe it lives right here. but it's darker in value.
I've got to admit, I am a little bit half
little
distracted
darker.
by something else as well at the moment.
There we go.
That has kind of pissed me off a little bit.
We'll let him
But
come. Maybe right down in here. I don't know. There.
that's another story.
Each layer needs to get darker in value to keep that feeling of distance in the painting. And I know I repeat that over and over, but it's so important. So important. You don't
And
just
I
have
get,
that
see,
old
this is the
painting.
thing. I totally get that this is not something you pick up
Masterpiece here.
instantly.
And you
I
can
know,
do
I
that.
get that.
Once again, we're going to tap that base just like so.
It's
Very lightly. Lift it upward.
not the easiest thing to do
There.
under pressure, that's for sure.
And maybe we're beginning to get down here to where there are a few reflections. So we'll take a little paint on a 2-inch brush, grab it, and pull it straight down. It's most important that these reflections come straight down. Most important. If you go at an angle like this, it won't look right. See, even there, it doesn't look right. I very lightly go across. Very, very
Why
lightly.
is all that? Oh,
Just
that's
enough
me
to
knocking that
Blend it,
remote.
give it the feeling of the water.
So, just to add my personal
Just
touch
things
there, I've
about
managed
this
to wipe my
technique.
knuckles
It's instant
across the
reflections.
canvas. Yay!
And then we'll take a little of the liquid white.
Do you know
At
what?
least
I'm
a
just going
touch
to
of
blag
bright
this.
red.
I'm just going to do it
Just
my own
least a
bloody
little
way.
touch. Just enough
Sod
to
you, Bob.
flavor it a little bit. Be
We
careful,
don't need you.
because very quickly this can get really intense in color. Now we just cut across. That's all there is to it. Go up here, and we'll just put in just the indication of a happy little water line that lives here. And if you get one that's maybe a little too strong, too bright, just go back and
That's
rub it.
really annoying. Clonk, 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 clonk,
The more
clonk,
you
clonk.
rub it, the lighter it'll get, because it'll just be absorbed right into the color it's underneath.
I mean,
No
bear in
big deal.
mind here, I don't do
If
landscapes.
you painted with me
and
before, you know without question.
after
that we will make
this, I
mistakes
will
here. We
never
just have
ever
happy
do another
accidents.
landscape again
But you learn
as
to
long
use
as I live.
anything
Although,
that
actually,
happens.
I do have a seascape to do.
Maybe
But
right there. And little ripples. But notice how all these
it's
lines
going to be
are
a bit
basically
more
straight.
abstracty
not,
than what I'm
It's going
doing
to look
here.
like your
So
water's going to run right out of
obviously,
your painting
that's not
and
such
get
a
your floor
major
red. You'll
issue.
have to tie a bucket on one side.
Need more smoke
Why don't
breaks.
you
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
Now,
I'm
tell you what,
inclined to agree with that a
clean
little
off a
bit.
little spot.
So I'm
Let's
gonna
take
some of this
let's
green
take some
off here.
black, Prussian blue, brown, crimson, sap green, all those same colors, but with no white in it.
It might be one of them things.
It's
Once I've
very,
actually done it and
very
finished
dark.
it, it might not look
Very
half bad,
dark.
but at the moment it
black
looks
on the palette.
fucking awful.
There. Okay, let me clean the knife. And I just wipe the knife on an old paper towel. Find a fan brush here. Let's take the fan brush and go right into that color. Load a lot of
Landscapes
paint
are a
into
ton
the
easier
brush,
than
both
airbrushing
sides.
Darth Vader.
This
Do you know what?
It's a lot
No.
of paint in there.
No.
Okay, let's go up here. Maybe back
No.
in here in our world there
Believe
lives,
me.
well, there
No.
does now anyway. There lives a happy little evergreen tree. And we just use the corner of the brush. Just the corner.
This
work
is
down
quite
the tree,
possibly
add
one of
more
the
and more
hardest
pressure
things
so
I've
the
ever done.
bristles
I've just
bend
made a
down
horrible blob in the middle
much,
of
much
that.
more. Look at there.
Well, rip.
A nice way to make a happy little evergreen. Let's give him a friend. You know me.
It's what I'd call a
I think
10-foot painting. It
everybody-
looks best from 10
everybody
feet away. Zarek, do you
should
know
have a
what? Hang on.
friend.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
Friends
minute.
are so important. There. All right. Maybe shoot. In our world, there's 3 trees here. You can put as many. as
Zaragan,
few as
you're
you want.
absolutely right.
The only
It
thing
does
that
look
we
a
would
lot
like
better
to
from
teach you
10 feet
is
away.
how to make a tree. You
In
decide
fact,
how
it
many
may look
trees you have
even
in the
better
world.
from about 20
But you'll
feet
have
away,
some-
but if I did
Well,
that, I'd
there's
have
no
to go out
reflection
my
down
front
here.
door.
Just put some
Uh,
general
yeah.
shapes.
Right.
Looking for detail. Not looking for detail. Just very basic little shapes.
Not gonna lie, man. This shit's hard.
Maybe there's some land there too. You can just push up with a fan brush and a little bit down for the reflection. And we'll use old 2-inch brush and grab this, decide where water and land meet, and pull straight down. Once again, straight down. Son of a gun. Instant reflections. Go across. That easy. That easy. And see these reflections, you can push them. See how you can push them? Because the canvas is wet, you can do that. You can do anything here. On this canvas,
Well, I think
you
after
have
this
total
experience, I think I'll
and
stick to
absolute
airbrushing.
power, unlimited power
Well,
here.
apart from the other commission,
And
believe
when
it
I
or
go
not,
home, all they're
the
gonna do is
next
take the
painting I
garbage
have to
out.
do in oils
But here,
is a
I
commission.
can do anything
Um,
that I want to do. Let's take a little of the dark
So
cyan,
I'm
a
now
little white,
extremely
get a little
concerned
of the
about
paint knife. Let's put a little indication here and there. A little tree
what do you
drop
do with all that
this and
fluffing stuff.
there.
I've missed so
Don't
much
want a
of
great
this.
deal. Don't want a great deal. Just enough to.
On camera, it doesn't look as bad.
Just enough to
Yeah, I
indicate
know.
there's
See,
something
on
there.
this
And
camera,
you can just take the
it
point of the
actually
knife,
looks quite nice.
just scrape through and make
But
little
on
lines
the
and
on
sticks and all
this
these little
camera
things
and looking at it, it's
Tell you what, let me grab
awful.
another fan
It's
brush. I have
really
several of them
bad.
going here. Let's take and go
So
into a
did
little
he- did he
yellow.
do the
This is
fluffing
cad
thing?
yellow. Little touch of that color that we made the tree out of. Since it has blue in it, as soon
I'm
as
going
we
to
touch
fluff
the
it
yellow,
anyway, sod it.
it turns beautiful
I don't
green
care.
color.
It's my
Everything
world.
over
I
to
do what I like with it. Ain't that
a
right,
dark
Bob?
green
You
here.
with me, Bob?
Once again, load the
Agree
bristles
with me,
quite
Bob.
full. A lot of color. Let's go up here. Now then, let's put some highlights on these little trees.
Bob, I'm not hearing you agreeing with
Don't
me,
want to
man.
overdo.
Back me up here, mate.
Put too much highlights on here. Too many highlights. Then it loses its effectiveness. We want these to be quite dark. Look at that. And that's all there is to it. Darker, darker, darker. And maybe down here there's
Wait,
some little grassy
Did Bob
things that
Ross
grow
just say
nice.
durka durka durka?
And you just make those by pushing up with a brush. That's all. Very easy.
Ah, it's midnight, see. I'm supposed to finish now.
Let's have some land under there. We need something to hold those trees up.
I
so
ain't
they
going to
don't
get this finished
all over
tonight.
the water.
You
Make a
do
big
realise
splash.
that, don't you?
There. Little Van Dyke.
Shall I
brand
just
of
have a
dark
go
cyan
at some really
mixed together.
shitty reflections? How
Like
does he
so,
normally
we'll
do
take
it?
a little
He
touch
goes
of
like
that
that.
brown
and he
and
goes,
white.
No, no,
Just make the indication.
it's not
A little
working.
land there.
Wait,
A little bit of the liquid
Drop
white
this
that we had
brush.
left over. And we'll just put in a little water line. This water line is your separator.
I don't care
It's a
if
light
it looks
between
nothing
two
like the
darks.
original. I'm just going to
And
do
that
my own
separates it,
bloody
makes
thing.
Makes it stand out. All right.
The plan has gone out the
We'll
window,
just use this
boys.
big brush.
We're just
Wait,
painting
have
our
some
own
fun.
shit now.
If you've painted with me before, you know that I love to make big trees. So let's do that. I'll use an old 2-inch brush today. An old
remember
2-inch
rightly.
brush. So often we avoid this brush
No.
because it's big and we're afraid of it. A lot of paint. Wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. And sharpen it just like you would a knife. Look how sharp this brush is. There you can see. Very sharp. Okay, let's go up here. Now then, maybe in our world lives a big evergreen tree. Right there. Just touch the canvas. Now we use just the corner. Just the corner of the brush. Just go back and forth.
Hey, it's
And
looking
begin
kind
laying
of
in
impressionisty
all
now.
of these beautiful little limbs and stuff that live here on this tree. There. Okay. Tell you what. We'll have another one. You knew that, didn't you?
Right, he
We'll
done
have
something
a
with
friend.
land, didn't he? Land ho!
There. Okay. Now then,
I ain't even going
let's
to
have some-
attempt the damn
maybe
tree.
some
That,
big
the tree
leafy
can.
trees
Well, I don't know.
and
Maybe I'll
evergreens
put a
live
tree
here.
in. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
there.
Um,
Let's just push in some
what do we do with the land?
Push in some nice leaf
Whereabouts was
with the
that?
least little touch of the bright red in it. Just least little touch. Just enough to,
Are we back on
flavor it
white
a
with
little
a
bit.
tiny
Be
touch
careful.
of red?
because very quickly this can get really intense in color. Now we'll just cut across. That's all there is to it. Go up here, and we'll just put in just the indication of a happy little water line that lives here. And if you get one that's maybe a little too strong or too bright, just go back and rub it. The more you rub it, the lighter it'll get, because it'll just be absorbed right into the color it's underneath. No big deal. And if you've painted with me before, you know without question that we don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.
Yeah,
But you learn
Bob,
to use anything.
I'm going to take one of
that
your happy
happens.
little accidents, and me and you going to have some words with it, mate.
Right there. And little ripples. But notice how all these lines are basically straight. If they're not, it's going to look like your water's going to run right out of your painting and get your floor wet. You'll have to tie a bucket on one side. I don't want you to have to do that. Now, tell you what. Clean off a little spot. Let's take some black, Prussian blue, brown, crimson, sap green, all those same colors, but with no white in it.
Bob did put a shadow
It's
colour on the other
very,
side of the
very
mountain,
dark.
didn't he? Yeah, he put
Very
blue. It's
dark.
there. Sort
Looks
of.
black on the color.
Kind of. I might just
There.
brush that a little
Okay,
bit.
let me clean the knife. And I just wipe the knife on an old paper towel. Find a fan brush here. Let's take the fan brush and go right into that color. Load a lot of paint onto the brush, both sides.
Check that water line.
This
Look
is
at
a-
that. That's
There's a lot of
badass,
paint
man.
in there. Okay, let's go up here. Maybe back in here in our world there lives, well there does now anyway, there lives a happy little evergreen tree. And we just use the corner of the brush, just the corner, and as you work down the tree, add more and
you're
more
on
pressure
trees
so the
already.
bristles.
Wait.
And maybe we're beginning to get down here to where there are a few reflections, so we'll take a little paint on a 2-inch brush, grab it, and pull it straight down. It's most important that these reflections come straight down. Most important. If you go at an angle like this, it won't look right. See, even there, it doesn't look right. I very lightly go across. Very, very, very lightly. Just enough to blend it and give it the feeling of water. It's one of the nicest things about
See,
this
I didn't need
technique.
to add paint to
Instant
do that. I
reflections.
just used the copious amounts of paint I already
Yeah.
had.
We'll take a little of the liquid white, put the least little touch of the bright red in it, just least little touch. Just enough to flavor it a little bit. Be careful, because very quickly this can get really intense in color. Now we'll just cut across, that's all there is to it. Go up here, and we'll just put in just the indication of a happy little water line that lives here. Now if you get one that's maybe a little too strong or too bright, just go back and rub it.
It's like a
The more you
foggy
rub it,
forest.
the lighter it'll get. It'll just absorb right into the color it's underneath. No big deal. And if you've painted with me before, you know without question that we don't make
Look at the
mistakes
state
here.
of me,
We
look.
just have
I'd
happy
never
accidents.
get this dirty
But you
with...
learn to use anything
boy.
that happens.
Does he like fluff that? Or I'm
Right there.
good at the fluffing
Little
part.
ripples.
I can
But
do
notice
that.
how all these
I'm-
lines are basically straight.
I'm alright at
If they're
fluffing.
not, it's going to look like your water's going to run right out of your painting and get your floor wet, and you'll have to tie a bucket
Very
on
much,
one side.
Tip-Boom.
We don't want you to have to do that. Now,
I'm going to fluff it anyway. Screw you,
clean off a
Bob.
little spot. Let's take some black, Prussian blue, brown, crimson, sap green, all those same
Maybe I'll
colors.
just develop my own
with
style.
no
Well,
white
the
in it.
thing is, ultimately, yeah, here's a good
very,
lesson for you.
very
It's
dark.
always good to develop
Very
your
dark.
own style, and I
Looks
like to
black
think
on the
that that's
palette.
what I'm doing right now. I'm developing my own style. Let's be
Okay,
positive
clean,
about
right?
this. I had the ump 5 minutes
And I
ago,
just
and I
wipe
was
the
about
knife
to
on
give
the
up,
paper
but
towel.
let's have a
the
positive
fan
spin
brush
on this, eh?
Let's take the fan brush and go right into that color. Load a lot of paint onto the brush.
What's she doing
Both
now?
sides. See, bristles are
Oh, another fan
There's a
brush.
lot of paint.
Doodah. Shit,
Go up
I
here.
need to wash it.
maybe back in here in our world there lives, well there does now anyway, there lives a happy little evergreen tree. And we just use the corner of the brush, just the corner. And as you work down the tree, add more and more pressure so the bristles bend downward much, much more. Look at there.
Dump that down there.
A nice way to make a happy little evergreen.
Another
Let's
fan
give it
brush,
a
don't I?
hand. You know me. I think everybody
I completely missed all of
should
that.
have a friend. Oh, because very quickly this can get
While he's doing that bit, I
really
smoke the rest of my
intense
bag.
in color. Now we'll just cut across.
Where's the
That's
lighter?
all there is to it. Go up here,
No!
and we'll
Oh,
just
there it is.
put in just the indication of a happy little water line that lives here. Now if you get one that's maybe a little too strong or too bright, just go back and rub it.
No, you might be. It don't look
The more you
too.
rub
This
it,
mountain's fucking
The
awful.
lighter it'll
But
get, because
Oh,
it'll just
yeah,
be
no,
absorbed right into the color it's underneath.
practice.
No
It
big
could
deal.
work out. It could work out.
And if you've painted with me
It's
before,
not all doom and gloom,
you know
folks.
without question
Not all doom and
that
gloom.
we don't make mistakes
we could
here.
win.
We just have happy accidents. But you
Yeah.
learn to use
Bob,
anything.
the next time you
that
say
happens.
happy accidents, I'm going to take the biggest brush I
Mhm.
can find and I'm going to push
Right
it.
there. And
Yeah, anyway.
little ripples. But notice how all these lines are basically straight. If they're not, it's going to look like
I love
the
you
water's
really,
going to run
Bob.
right out of your painting, and get your floor wet, and you'll have to tie a bucket on one side. We don't want you to have to do that. Now, tell you
You
what,
should try another one and
clean off a little spot.
Screw that.
Let's take some black, Prussian blue, brown, crimson, sap green, all those same colors, but with no white in it. It's very, very dark, very dark.
Brown, Prussian,
Looks black on the palette.
green. What are you
There.
doing, Bob?
Okay, let me clean the knife. And I just wipe the knife on an old paper towel. Find a fan brush here. Let's take the fan brush and go right into that color. Load a lot of paint onto the brush, both sides. See, bristles are, there's a lot of paint in there. Okay, let's go up here. Maybe back in here in our world there lives, well, there does now anyway, there lives a happy little
Right,
evergreen
where shall I
tree.
put the tree?
And we just use the
Right,
corner of the brush.
we're going to put it here.
Just the corner. And as you work down the tree, add more and more pressure so the bristles bend downward much, much more. Look at there. That a nice
Okay.
way to make a happy little evergreen?
I remember
Let's
this
give it
bit.
a friend. You know me. I think everybody should have a friend. Friends are so important. There. All right. Maybe shoot. In our world, there's 3 trees.
Yes. Oh, we can do
Put
trees.
as many,
All
as
right.
few as you
Okay.
want.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the tree.
The only thing that we would like to teach you here
Check the
is how to
tree
make
out,
a
man.
tree. You
Holy
decide how
shit.
many trees you have in your world. Maybe we'll have some, maybe there's a little reflection down here. Just put some general shapes. We're not looking for detail.
Okay, we can do this. Let's rock out some trees,
not
man.
looking for detail.
All right. I'm
Just
digging
very
the trees.
basic little
I'm digging
shapes.
the trees.
Shoot, who knows? Maybe there's some land
put
there
another
too.
one
You
here.
just push up with a fan brush and a little bit down for the reflection. And we'll use old 2-inch brush and grab this, decide where water and land meet, and pull straight down once again. Straight down. Son of a gun. Instant reflections. Go across. That easy.
Oh yeah.
That easy.
Here we go.
And see these reflections, you can push them. See how you can push them?
Wait, where did
Because
that
the
island
canvas
appear
is
from?
wet.
What?
You can do that.
Hold it, Bob.
You can
whoa,
do anything
whoa,
here.
Hold on
On
now.
this canvas, you have total. There. Okay, let me clean the knife. And I just wipe the knife on an old paper towel. Find a fan brush here. Let's take the fan brush and go right into that color.
Hey, I'm liking
of
my
paint
trees,
onto the
man.
brush.
These trees are cool.
Both sides. See, bristles
These
are.
rocks.
It's a
I
lot
need
of
to see
paint.
how you've made that
Okay,
little
let's
island.
go up here. Maybe back in here in our world there lives, well, there does now anyway, there lives a happy little evergreen tree. And we just use
Okay,
the
Bob,
corner of the brush,
You're restoring my faith in
just
you,
the
man.
corner. And as you work down the tree, add more and more pressure so the bristles bend downward much, much more. Look at there. That a nice way to make a happy little evergreen? Let's give him a friend.
What do you do the
You
other
know
one?
me. I think everybody should have a friend. Friends are so important. There. All right. Maybe shoot. In our world, there's 3 trees here. You can put as many or as few as you want. The only thing that we would like to
Seeing
teach you
these
here
trees
is
are
how to
about the
make
only
a tree.
thing I seem to be
You
able to
decide
paint
how many
properly.
trees
I'm
you
going
have
to
in
do
your
loads
world.
of them.
Maybe we'll have some, maybe there's a little reflection down here. Just put some general shapes. We're not looking for detail. Not looking for detail. Just
Oh, okay,
very
that's
basic
how you
little
do it. All right,
shapes.
okay.
Shoot, who knows? Maybe there's some land there too. You can just push up with a fan brush and a little bit down for the reflection. And we'll use old 2-inch brush.
Oops.
And grab this, decide where water
Just
and
gonna
land
do
meet,
that really
pull straight
roughly.
down, once again. Straight down. Son of a gun. Instant reflections. Go across. That easy. That easy. And see these reflections, you can push them. See how you can push them? Because the canvas is wet, you can do that. You can do anything here. On this canvas, you have total and absolute power. Unlimited power here. When I go home, all I can do is take a garbage out.
He's been
But
watching
here,
Star Wars.
I can do anything that I want to do. Take a little of the dark sienna, a little white, get a little roll of paint on the knife. Let's put a little indication here and there of a little tree trunk that lives in these. There.
What,
Don't
how
want a
did he
great
make that
deal.
island?
Don't want a great deal, just enough to indicate there's something in there. And you can just go right into that color. Load a lot of paint onto the brush.
Possibly,
both sides.
maybe, but I
This is
think
it's a
I
lot
would
of
say
paint.
the same thing about
Up
airbrushing.
here. Maybe back in here in our world.
I've
there
had
lives-
somebody
Well, it
who's
does now,
never
anyway.
touched an airbrush in their
there
life
lives a happy little evergreen tree.
being able to confidently
And we just
paint
use the
dagger
corner of the
strokes and
brush.
stuff like that within
Just the
about 10
corner.
or 15
And
minutes.
you work down the tree, add
So
more and
it's-
more pressure.
I,
so the
I,
bristles
I,
bend
I get where you're
downward.
coming from. I see it. It's
Much,
just one of
much
those. Like I said, like I keep saying about, you know, one of the
Nice way to
reasons
make a happy little
I'm
evergreen.
doing
Just give
this
it
is
a thing.
because I want to show people that
You know me.
even a professional artist
Everybody-
will struggle with something
everybody
they've never done before.
should have a
It doesn't
friend.
matter how long you've been doing it or
Friends are so
you know
important.
how many paintings you've done and blah blah blah.
All right.
Give them something new and you'll fall on your ass.
In our world, there's 3 trees here. You can put
So
as
it does.
many
Yeah,
as
it
few
is a
as you
case of
want.
just practice whatever you do. I really
The
like
only
these
thing that we
trees,
would like
man.
to teach you here
Damn,
is
I'm
how
really
to make a
pleased with
tree.
those trees.
You decide
I
how
think they
many
look
trees
awesome.
you have in your world. They will have some.
All right,
Well,
I'm
there's no
feeling more
reflection
positive
down
about
here.
this now.
Just
I
put
wanted
some
to stop
general
my stream
shapes.
12 minutes
Right,
ago,
looking
but I'm
for
not going to bother
detail.
now.
Not looking for detail. Just very basic
I'm
little
going to try
shapes.
airbrushing. I'll try painting portrait.
Shoot,
Yeah,
you know, maybe some land
yeah.
there too. You can just push up
Portraits
with a
are,
fan brush and
Right, what did he do there?
a little bit down for the reflection. And we'll use old 2-inch brush and grab this, decide where water and land meet, and pull straight down once again. Straight down.
Right, 2-inch brush.
Son of a gun.
2-inch brush.
Instant reflections. Go across. And that easy. That easy. And see these reflections, you can push them. See how you can push them? Because the canvas is wet, you can do that. You can do anything here. On this canvas, you have total and absolute power, unlimited power here. When I go home, the only thing I can do is take the garbage out.
Get
But
off.
here, I can do anything that I want to do. Take a little of the dark sienna, a little white, get a little roll of paint on the knife. Always put a little indication here and there of a little tree trunk that lives in these.
Hey, I'm getting into this, man.
Great deal.
I'm digging this. Do I fluff this? Do I fluff it?
Just enough to indicate there's something
Oh
in there.
yeah, I do. Look at
And you
that.
can just take the point of the knife,
Nice.
just scrape through and make little lines and sticks and all those little things. And
What I'm going to do is I'm going to fluff
Grab
this
another
just to
fan
get
brush. I have several of
smooth
them
some
going
of
here.
these really hard lines out.
let's take and go into a little yellow. This is cad yellow. Little touch of that color that we made the tree out of. Since it has blue in it, as soon as we touch the yellow,
Hey, we're
turns
not doing
beautiful
badly,
green
man.
color. Maybe a little yellow ochre too. I want a dark green here.
Oh, I missed a bit again.
Once
didn't I?
again, load the bristles quite full. A lot of detail. Not looking for detail. Just very basic little shapes. Shoot,
Oh,
who knows? Maybe
fucking
some
well
land
happy
there
with
too.
these
You can just
trees,
push up
man.
with a
These are the
fan brush and
nuts.
A little bit down for the
I've
reflection.
never painted trees before.
And let's take
That's
we'll
why I'm
use our
such a
2-inch
Bob
brush.
Ross fanboy.
Grab this.
Do you- I've always
decide where
watched
water
it
and land meet, and pull straight down.
on
Once
and
again,
off for like years, especially
Straight
since it
down.
came onto Twitch. I've just been
Son of a
watching
gun.
it
Instant
religiously.
reflections. Go across. And that easy. That easy. And see these reflections, you can push them. See how you can push them? Because the canvas is wet, you can do that. You can do anything here. On this canvas, you have total and absolute power, unlimited power here. When I go home, the only thing I can do is take the garbage out. But here, I can do anything that I want to do. Take a little of the dark sienna, a little white, get a little roll of paint on the knife. Always put a little
Dark sienna and white.
indication here and there. of a
Knife.
little tree trunk that lives in these. There. Don't want a great deal. Don't want a great deal. Just enough to indicate there's something in there. And you can just take the point of the knife, just scrape through it, make little lines and sticks and all those little things. And tell you what, let me grab another fan brush. I have several of them going here. And let's take and go into a little yellow. This is cad yellow. Little touch of that color that we made the tree out of. Since it has blue in it, as soon as we touch the yellow, it turns beautiful green color. Maybe a little yellow ochre too. I want a dark green here. Once again, load the bristles quite full. A lot of color. Let's go up here. Now then, let's put some highlights on these little trees. Don't want to overdo. If you put too much highlights on here, too many highlights, then anything that I want to do. Let's take a little of the dark sienna, a little white, get a little roll of paint on the knife. Let's put a little indication here and there of a little tree trunk.
Okay.
There's some of these. There.
That's too much paint.
Don't want a great deal.
I'm not going to
Don't
spoil
want a
this.
great deal. Just enough to indicate there's something in there. And you can just take the point of the knife and just scrape through it, make little lines and sticks and all those little things. And tell you what, let me grab another fan brush. I have several of them going here. Let's take and go into a little yellow. This is cad yellow. A little touch of that color that we made the tree out of. Since it has blue in it, as soon as we touch the yellow, it turns beautiful green color. Maybe a little yellow ochre too. I want a dark green here. Once again, load the bristles quite full. A lot of color. Let's go up here. Now then, let's put some highlights on these little trees. Don't want to overdo. If you put too much highlights on here, too many highlights, then it loses its effectiveness. We want these to be quite dark. And that's all there is to it. Darker, darker, darker. Maybe
He
down here
said
there's
it again.
some
Darker,
little
darker,
grassy
darker.
things that grow in this.
Just him
You
scraping
just
stick.
make
No,
those
I'm
by
getting to that
pushing
bit.
up with
I'm
the
getting to
brush.
that
That's
bit.
all. Very easy. Now,
I'm just kind of
let's have some
blagging it and
land.
doing it my
We need
own way
something
at
to
the
hold those
moment.
trees upside down,
It's just,
all over in the water, make a big splash.
oh,
There.
that was too much.
Little Van Dyke brown, little dark sienna mixed together.
Oh
Like
no, that
so,
was too
we'll
much
take a
as
little
well.
touch of that brown and white.
I'm now taking to using a brush to
Just
actually
make an
clean.
indication
Oh no.
of a little
Oh
land
no,
there.
that's not looking good.
A little bit of the
have to fix
liquid
that.
white that we had left over.
Oh no. Okay, right. I need to stop myself
We'll
there
just put in
'cause
a little water
that's
line.
just going wrong.
This water line is your separator. It's a light between two darks, and that separates it and makes it stand out. All right.
Okay. Right,
Tell you
fixed.
what, we'll just use this big brush. Ready to have some fun? If you've painted with me before, you know that I love
No,
to make
not
big
fixed.
trees. So let's do that. I'll use an old 2-inch brush today. An old 2-inch brush.
Oh, no.
So often we avoid
Oh,
this
no.
brush because it's
Spoiled
big,
this tree
we're
now.
afraid of it.
Shit.
A lot of paint. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Then sharpen it, just like you would a knife. Look how sharp this
Did you
brush
just
is.
say wiggle wiggle?
There you can see. It's very sharp. Okay, let's go up here. Now then, maybe in our world lives a big evergreen tree. Right there. Just touch the canvas. Now we
I
use
need to
just the
fix that.
corner. Just the corner of the brush. Just go back and forth. And begin laying in all of these beautiful little limbs and stuff that live here on this tree. There. Okay. Tell you what. We'll have another one. You knew that, didn't you? You knew I'd have a friend out here.
Okay, fixed. Right.
Okay. Now then, let's have some, maybe there's some big leafy trees, not evergreens that live here. There. Let's just push in some nice leaf
Oh,
and
more
branch
trees.
shapes.
Right, okay, cool. Trees we can do.
But when you use a big brush, you can do this.
Oh, I
very
missed all that
rapidly.
grass stuff at the
Go on
bottom
other
there.
side.
I'm not even going to add that.
We
I'm
need
just
some
going to
over
do
here,
trees.
too.
'Cause
And you
I'm
could do
good
this
at
with a
trees now.
1-inch brush if you wanted to. Works just as well. Just as well. This is just a little bit faster. A little bit faster.
Right.
There we are. Okay, just bring it right on down.
How did he do them big trees over here? Should I just, right,
Now you have
do
to
the
start
same
making
thing?
big decisions.
Oh my god, he put highlights in there. and
Okay,
everything,
we'll
man.
just put there.
Yeah,
Nice
screw it,
bush
more
leaves
trees.
there.
We're liking trees.
Tell you what,
yeah?
let's get crazy. Maybe. Maybe it just goes all the way across. In
There's a
your world, you can
big
do
ass
anything
tree over
that you want. If you want this shrubbery and bushes and trees to come all the way across, then do it. Do it. All right. Now then, we can just take a clean knife and just make the indication of little sticks and twigs just by scraping, just the point of the knife. We're going to cover most of those up, but some of them will show. We can even use a little brown and white, come right up in here, with the indication of a trunk. Not a great deal of detail, just a little over here. Because these are going to be deep in the old tree here. You're not going to see much of them. but they're there. Now
How
then,
did I get paint on
let's
my
take-
back?
we'll dip the brush into a little of
That's probably
liquid
from
white.
another painting
1 inch
expedition.
We'll go
This
right
is
through.
my official
I'll use
painting
a little
top. As you can
cad
see, I
yellow.
cleaned my brush out on it quite a lot.
Grab
and
some
stuff,
sap
so-
green up here. There we are. Cad yellow, sap green. Pull the brush in one direction. Load a lot of color in it.
Did I just
Let's
move
go
my
up here.
camera then?
Now then, think about all your little leaves and stuff here that would just shine. And, oh, they would sparkle out here in the sun under this big mountain. And when you're painting, make up little stories. Think about the scene that you're
No,
painting.
Bob, I'm not
Become
making
part
any
of it.
stories.
Make friends with a tree. Shoot, you just drop all this stuff in.
I'm totally lost now.
And let it go.
It just
Darker, darker,
flew,
darker
like,
as you work down towards
just
the base
like-
of the tree, though. Darker, darker. Old 2-inch brush. So often we avoid this brush because it's big and we're afraid of it. A lot of paint. Wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. And sharpen it just like you would a knife. Look how sharp this brush is. There you can see. It's very sharp. Okay, let's go up here. Now then, maybe in our world lives a big evergreen tree.
Oh, we did
Right
that
there.
with the... Oh, okay.
Just
he
touch
did
the
a much
canvas.
bigger... Okay, this
Now
could be a
we
little
just
tree
the
behind
corner.
the really big tree.
Just the corner of the brush. Just go back and forth. And begin laying in all of these beautiful little limbs and stuff that live here on this tree. There.
Be at one
Tell you
with
what.
the tree.
We'll have another one. You knew that, didn't you?
So
You
that's
knew
that
I'd have a
same
friend
paint
out here.
again, isn't it? I'm just going to use the same paint again.
There. Okay. Now then, let's have some, maybe there's some big leafy trees, not evergreens, that live here.
My brush isn't sticking together.
There. Let's just push in some nice leaf and branch shapes. Look at there. But when you use a big brush, you can do this very rapidly. Let's go on the other side. We need some over here too. Now you could do this with a 1-inch brush if you wanted to.
My brush isn't
Works
doing the
just as
pointy
well.
thing.
Just as well. This is just a little bit
I'm
faster.
just going to blag it. Right, he
A
started
little
up
bit
here, didn't
faster.
he?
There we are.
This isn't going to work. I'm going to go back to the fan brush because I don't like this brush.
Now you have to start making big decisions. Okay, we'll just put there. Nice bush leaves there.
Oh
Tell you
no,
what, let's
that's
get crazy.
horrible.
Maybe. Maybe it just goes all the way across. In your world, you
make
can
it
do
look like
anything
that.
that you want. If you want this shrubbery and bushes and trees to come all the way across, then do it. Do it. All right.
D for
Now
dirt.
then, we can just take a
Welcome
clean
back.
knife and just make the indication of little sticks and twigs just by scraping, just the point of the knife. We're going to cover most of those up, but some of them will show. We can even use a little
Some of
brown
Ben's
right
arrogant.
up in here. With the indication of a trunk. Not a great deal of detail, just a little over here. Because these are going to be deep in the old tree here. You're not going to see much of them, but they're there. Now then, let's we'll dip the brush into a little of a liquid white, 1-inch brush. We'll go right through. I'll use a little cad yellow. Grab some sap green up here.
Trees
There
are
we
easy, man. I can do
Yellow
these.
sap green. Pull the brush in one direction. Load a lot of color in it. Let's go up here. Now then, think about
These are going to be a
all
big
the
ass
little
tree. man.
leaves and stuff here
Big
that would
ass
just
tree.
shine. And, oh, they would sparkle out here in the sun under this big mountain. And when you're painting, make up little stories.
Make up little
Think
stories.
about the scene
Once
that you're
upon a
painting.
time,
Become
a
part
guy
of
called
Make
3D
friends with a tree.
decided he was going to do a painting
You
like
just
Bob
drop all this
Ross.
stuff in. And let it go. Darker, darker, darker as you work down toward the base of the tree.
It didn't
Darker.
quite go according to
That'll do.
plan,
Yellow over here,
but he
there,
did
little
discover
Indian yellow
that he
times,
likes
just
painting trees.
just
The
to
end.
change the flavor. Wherever you want it. There we are. A little touch of bright red even here and there. It's up to you. Up to you.
So anybody interested in purchasing this
And
painting,
you
it's
choose even
available for
the time
£5
of year. Let's
million.
go to this other big tree over here.
Available
Maybe
from the
over
3D
here.
Bloke
There it
Online
is.
Emporium.
There it is. This big tree. Think about individual shapes and form inside of this tree.
Yes.
Don't just throw it on
Tree
the
it
ground.
up,
Think
son.
about the limbs inside
See,
the
look,
tree. That
anyone
give it
can do
shape and form.
trees. Trees are easy, man.
Okay.
Try an
Darker,
evergreen with the
darker,
knife.
darker.
No.
You're toward the base. Much darker.
Just no.
Let's have a bush right here that has red flowers.
God, I've
on
got
it.
so
Look at
much
that.
brush cleaning to do. It's
See
not
there?
even funny
Just by
anymore.
putting a little bit of red on the end of the brush, you can do that. Here lives another one.
It
Just
looks
do one
so
bush at a
good from
time.
this camera, man. Holy
One at
shit.
a time. There they go. Okay. Just wherever you want them. Shoot. It's coming along pretty nice. There.
No, you really are. Yes,
Hmm?
yeah,
Notice
I'm
the
getting that. I am
I'll
getting
put in
that. Yeah,
some little
I
bushes here.
hate this piece here.
And you can
I'm
use the
stopping
brush
myself
sideways.
from going in and doing
Push
things
up
with
and
that
creep.
to
All kinds of little
make
things.
that better. Do you know, to be honest,
Just like so.
in future,
Alright.
if I was to do this again,
We'll put a little
I'd be
path
more
here,
likely
a
to
little
do
band-aid
all of
brown.
that
We
with a
got
brush.
Just a second left, so I'll throw
because
that
I
in.
think me and palette knives
Brown
don't get
white.
on.
Give us indication of a little path. And all we need to do is put a little bush over the top of it and set it right down into the painting. Shoot, I think we
Why
have
does
finished
this water
painting.
look so
For
nice
that,
and
I'm
shiny
going to
and
wish you
stuff?
happy painting.
Wait,
And
no,
God
don't
bless, my
end,
friend.
Bob.
I'll see you
Don't
next
end.
show.
No, I'm not done with you yet.
Works
Sorry,
just
Bob,
as
you
well.
can't leave yet.
Just as well. This is just a little bit faster.
Right,
A little
is
bit
this
faster.
just like stabbing it with a brush?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that part.
Let's have some land under there. We need something to hold those trees up so they don't fall over in the water and make a big splash. There. Little Van Dyke brown, little dark sienna mixed together. Like so. We'll take a little touch of that brown and white.
Yeah, you get on with that bit.
Just make the
You enjoy
indication.
your island. I've got my island here.
Little
It looks
bend
cool. I'm happy with it.
A little bit of the liquid white that we had left over. And we'll just
Ooh.
put in a little water line.
Oh, of
This
course,
water
that's the
line
one I
is your
just painted
separator.
my own hand.
It's a light between two
Yay.
darks.
No, that's got
And that
paint
separates
all
it,
over it as
makes it-
well. Alright, I need
Makes
more.
it stand out. All right. Tell you what, we'll just use this big brush. Ready to have some fun? If you've painted with me before, you know that I love to make big trees. So let's do that. I'll use the old 2-inch brush today. The old 2-inch brush. So often we avoid this brush because it's big and we're afraid of it. A lot of paint. Wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Then sharpen it just like you would a knife. Look how sharp this brush is. There you can see. It's very sharp. Okay, let's go up here. Now then, maybe in our world lives a big evergreen tree. Right there. Just touch the canvas. Now we use just the corner. Just the corner of the brush.
Right, hurry up and do that, Bob. I need to catch
Just
up
go
to it.
back and forth.
I need to know what this
And
whole
begin laying
stabbing
in
thing is
all
over here.
of these beautiful
going
little
on with
elms
that?
and stuff that live here on this tree. There. Okay. Tell you what. We'll have another one. You knew that, didn't you? You knew I'd have a friend out here. There. Okay. Now then, let's have some, maybe there's some big leafy trees, not evergreens, that live here. There.
Oh, yeah, stabbing stuff. Right.
Let's just push in some,
Does he do that right away
push
down to
in
the
some
bottom?
nice leaf and branch shapes. Look at there. But when you use a big brush, you can do this very rapidly. Now,
No, this brush
let's go on the
is
other
shit.
side.
1-inch
Some over
brush.
here, too. And you could do this with 1-inch brush if you
Ow.
want to. Works just as well. Just as well. This is
That
just
was
a little bit
palette
faster.
knife straight in the top of my foot.
A little bit faster. There we are. Okay. Let's bring it right on down. Now you have to start making decisions. Okay, we'll just put there. Nice bush leaves there. Tell you what, let's get crazy. Maybe it just goes all the way across. In your world, you can do anything that you want. If you want this
I am
shrubbery,
doing anything in
bushes
my
and
world,
trees to come all
Bob.
the way across, then do it. Do it.
No!
Right.
Why has it stopped?
Now
Oh,
then, we
right,
can
okay.
just take a clean knife and just make the indication of little sticks and twigs just by scraping, just the point of the knife.
Yep, we're going to
We're
get
gonna
to that,
cover
Bob.
most of those up. But some of them will show. You can even use a little brown and white come right up in here. With the indication of a trunk. Not a great deal of detail, just a little over here. These are going to be deep in the old tree here. You're not going to see much of them, but they're there. Now then, let's take
My neighbours are
dip
going
the
to wonder
brush
what the
into a little
bloody hell I'm doing.
liquid white, 1-inch brush. We'll go right through. I'll use a little cad yellow. Grab some sap green up here. There we are. Cad yellow sap green. Pull the brush in one direction. Load a lot of color in it. Just go here. Now then, think about all your little leaves and stuff here that would just shine. Oh, they would sparkle out here in the sun under this big mountain. And when you're painting, make up little stories. Think
Oh, is
about
he
the
going on
scene
about
that
his
you're
little
painting.
stories
Become
again?
part of it. Make friends with a tree. Shoot, you
Right.
can just drop all this stuff in.
Do we scrape stuff?
And let it go. Darker, darker as you work down toward the base of the tree. Darker, darker. Add a little yellow ochre here or there, a little Indian yellow sometimes, just to change the flavor. Wherever you want. A little touch of bright red even here and there. It's up to you. Up to you. There. And you choose even time of year. Let's go to this other big tree here.
Do I have to scrape stuff into here as well?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
There it is.
I like that
There
tree.
you go.
I'm not going to mess with
This
it.
big
It's good.
tree. Think about individual shapes and form inside this tree. Don't just throw it on at random. Think about the limbs inside the tree that give it shape and form. There.
That looks fucking awful.
Darker, darker, darker. Down here toward the base. Much darker.
I'm sure he
Let's
keeps
have a
saying
bush
darker,
right here
darker,
that has
darker.
red
He's
flowers.
obviously watched Team America.
See there? Just by putting a little bit of grip at the end of the brush,
Yeah.
you can do that.
So what's the
there's
deal with
another
all
one.
these really bright?
Just do
Let's
one bush at a
just
time.
wing this, shall we?
One
I
at a
need,
time. There they go. Okay. Just wherever you want them. Shoot. It's coming
This
on
one?
pretty nice. There. Okay. And the other side over here, we'll put in some little bushes here. And you can use the brush sidewards. Just push upward and create all kinds of little things. Just like so. All right. We'll put a little path.
Just
over
blag
here.
it,
And
Fredo,
brown.
we'll never know.
Just a second left, so I'll throw that in. Little brown and white. Give us indication of a little path. And all we need to do is put a little bush over the top of it and set it right down into the painting. Shoot, I think we have a finished painting. With that, I'm going to wish you happy painting. And God bless, my friend. I'll see you next show.
No, Bob, we're not done.
So we'll take a little bit of that brown and white. Twigs, just by scraping, just point of the knife. We're going to cover most of those up. Put some of them. We can even use a little brown and white come right up in
I
here.
quite like this at the bottom. It
In the
looks quite
cave
nice.
trunk. Not a great deal of detail, just a little.
It's not overkill it though,
Over
right?
here. These are going to be deep in the over here. You're not going to see much. Put it there. Now then, let's dip the brush into a little of liquid white, 1-inch brush. We'll go right through. I'll use a little cad yellow.
Did not Bob not apply a
Grab some
layer
sap green
of dark
up here.
colour with a
There we
knife
are.
before he put in the
Cad
grass?
yellow
I have
sap
no
green. Pull the
idea.
brush in one direction. Load a
Just
lot of
kept
color.
losing it at that
Just go
point.
here.
Now
Now then, think about all your little leaves and stuff here that would just shine.
a little bit of
Oh,
that.
they would sparkle out here in the sun under this big mountain. And when you're painting, make up little stories. Think about the scene that you're painting. Become part of it. Make friends with a tree. Shoot, you can just
You and your
drop all
bloody
this
little
stuff in
stories, Bob.
and let it go. Darker, darker, darker as you look down toward the base of the tree, though. Darker. Add a little yellow ochre here or there, a little Indian yellow sometimes, just
Bob, why did you stop? Right, apparently I'm dropping frames. Hopefully I am still on. was fine. Okay, cool. For some reason it just said I dropped 90 frames and my YouTube video stopped playing. Okay, I think I might paint another tree just in the edge there, just to cover all this horrible bit. Yes, let's do that, shall we? Oh boy. Bob, come back. Why have you deserted me? You bastard. We're gonna fall out, Bob. Okay, that brush is a bad idea. Where's my other inch brush gone? There you go. I had another one. Here, inch brush. Where are you? Did anyone see? Oh, it's alright. It's right in front of me. I'm still standing here holding this bloody trowel in my hand. Trowel. There you go. You can tell I come from a building family, can't you? How many brushes have I got going right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Believe it or not. Screw it, that'll do. You know what? At the angle it is, because it looks really nice. If I spin this thing round, it's gonna look awful. I've got to be careful because it's really wet. So there you go. I've got to try and make so the light doesn't catch it. Yeah. That wasn't too horrific, I suppose. That mountain